Alafia, this is Yaya Fini again with our Teaching Tuesdays. Teaching Tuesdays is my way of sharing with you some of the things that I do. I have been asked by several people, and so I guess it must be time for me to do a Teaching Tuesday on how to set up an ancestor altar. The ancestor altar is a place where you can come and center and find strength in connecting to your ancestors, to your family legacy, to your family issues. This is a good place for you to pray and to find a sacred place to meditate and to focus. And so for myself, I honor my ancestors every morning. I pour libation to my ancestors, and I ask that my ancestors will support me, because I know that the generations before the one that I know or could even conceive of, they are the reasons that I'm still here, because of my great-great-great-grandparents, and handed down to the point where my grandmother and then my mom and my dad and their side. So today I'm going to show you how to set up a ancestral shrine, or a place, an altar where you can center yourself. First, you want to go ahead and put a nice white tablecloth on it, and it's something that you would purchase or you would have, not something that you use on your bed and you just put it as because it's white. You're actually creating a sacred space. And so you would wipe down the table with some type of cleanser, and then come over with water, and after that you could use any type of cologne or perfume that you could use, any sacred thing. I use this, I like this. It's just essence of different flowers. And then you can clean your table down and then proceed to put your white cloth on it. Flowers is like an extension of earth because it has life. And so you always want to make sure that your ancestors have a plant or a flower on there. On your ancestor altar, the source of power for the ancestors is water and light. Because everything, nothing can survive without water. And so you want to make sure that you have your water there, and every morning you have your water that you're pouring to your ancestors, and you're saying your prayer, invoking them, calling them their names and the names that you know. Even if you don't know them, even if you're adopted, you can call the names of those. We give thanks to the ancestors whose shoulders we stand on. We call in our grandparents, our mothers, fathers, extended family. And you will go ahead and fill those up. I fill mine up and I change the water, the entire altar. I wash out the glasses, and that once a week. You can have one glass, you can have two, you can have as many as 7 glasses. It depends on what you desire. But the basis is it has to have water. You want to go ahead and get a candle, because light is the thing that spirits are looking for. It's because they're in the realm of for us is that we can't see it, and so we are putting this light so that they will gravitate to the light and have elevation for themselves. And so you go ahead and put your water. You're going to put the names of your ancestors or pictures. I brought a photo here, family photo, and you're going to put the family photo on there, so could be the focal point. And then with the water, your candle, you can have photos in a nice frame that you have, that you connect to your tradition or to where you're from. And so what I do is once a week I cleanse my house with frankincense, and I make sure that I walk through my entire house, shifting the energy from that week. And you're going to have your incense that you cleanse once a week, as well as you can have some sweet smelling incense that you have, just going to give you a sense of centeredness. You're going to go ahead also and use an ankh or a cross, whatever makes sense to you, that shows you the key of life, and that it gives honor to what's above, what's below, what's in the north, what's in the south. And so you're going to put that in one of your glasses. If you have more than one, if you have only one, you're going to put it there. If you have, then you can choose to put it there, or one of your waters. Now, this has been a new age thing to put tobacco or cigars, because since the indigenous culture of America was not, did used tobacco as one of its ways of getting centered, the Native American. We then, for those people who have that in their DNA or have that as part of their heritage, we have cigar. It is not a must, but this is a new age thing that because we're able to have the cigar. Now, once a week you would want to add some food to your ancestor shrine, and you have your nice container where you will serve your coffee, or you could serve them the things that you know is their favorite. You're going to serve also the foods of your ancestors, and you would not put salt because salt grounds you to the earth and you want them to be light in spirit. And so in doing so, you're cooking the foods that they like. You would cook rice, stews, greens, cornbread, salsa, pasta if your family have that kind of background. So you want to cook things that your family that used to cook. And what you're doing with this food is you're giving yourself an opportunity to go in memory and remember and sit in essence and have that energy take you back and center you and connect you to the spirit of the ancestors. And so the food is eaten by the spirit and the energy of the ancestors by you telling them, I'm bringing you this food as a way of saying thank you. And then you ask your prayer for what it is that you're requesting, and then you're going to close out the prayer. And so in doing that, what you're doing is allowing yourself to set up a prayer service. A prayer service and a ceremony that is going to connect you every day. Now, you're not going to necessarily put food there every day, but some people do. I personally, I cook for my ancestors once a week. But if I have something that is special to me and I know they would like it, I'll have a little plate and I put it to the ancestors. I would suggest to you that you have the plates and things that you use for your ancestors sacred, that only you use it for the ancestors. I have a book, Household Guide for Yoruba Spiritual Wellness. It's both in English and in Spanish, and in it I give you step-by-step directions on how to invoke them, the prayer, the meaning of the prayer, so that you don't feel like, oh, I don't know what to ask them, what's the order of service? The order of service is in every tradition or every culture is always to give thanks. Always come from a place of gratitude. Then you would then ask for the things that you desire, and then in closing, again, you thank the Spirit for coming and being a part of it. And so this is a simple, easy way. Now, if you're in a situation where you cannot have a table, or you cannot have, and this table is just large, it can be a small table, it could be a large table, it's up to you. But if you're in a situation where your family does not understand, you can always have a space where you go outside, it could be in a park, anywhere, and you take a nice white handkerchief and you put a candle there, some flowers, or a plate of food, and you're going to pray there to the ancestors and ask them, say, ancestors, I'm here and I'm gathered with you. And now, when you want to call the ancestors and invoke them in prayer, the way that I've been taught is a simple way of making sure that you get their attention, or they get your attention, and you get your attention, because you're going to get a nice carved pole or cane, and you can pick it up yourself. I just happen to have this one, it was made for me. And what you do is you're going to, as you're calling their names, you're tapping. And what you do is creating a rhythm that actually puts you in the trance. It puts you in a state of trance that you're focused on the thing that you're saying. You're not focused on what's going on in your head, where you have to go. And so you tap and you call the ancestors and you invoke them. So you see, it's like a song, it's just rhythm. And it goes like that. And then once you've called your ancestors and you let them know that you're there. Also, as I was saying earlier, is that if you are doing the outside shrine where you pick it up, and you don't leave because it's outside of your home, then when you get ready to leave, you're going to say to the ancestors, ancestors, I'm putting out this candle, but not your light. May you continue to bless me. I am leaving this here if you decide to do so, or I am moving this, and I'm leaving this food for nature. I'm leaving it for this tree. I'm leaving it for you when you digest it. Of course, whenever you feed your ancestors, you should sit down with them and have a nice meditation, a nice talk, a nice conversation with them, letting them know that you're grateful for them, but the most important thing is to ask them for their support. Your spirits, they're not dead. They're not deceased. They're not in a place where they are not accessible. The fact that you have their blood, and if you were raised by them, if you were adopted, they have a direct interest in your behalf, in you bettering yourself. So you call on them, call on grandma, call on grandpa, auntie, uncles, and if you have relatives who have recently deceased, I was taught that you would wait for at least 3 months so that the spirit would make that transition before you put them, invoke their names. And then there's a process that you would use for 9 days of 9 days of elevation. I will speak on that at another time about the 9-day elevation for the recently deceased, and then about setting them and putting them on the altar after a year of mourning and allowing them expiation and allowing them to transcend and leave this physical form. So thank you very much for coming and being witness to our nice, easy and simple, available process and practice that you can use to invoke your ancestors. They're depending on you. They're depending on you so that you, when you pass the physical realm, someone will remember you.